This poem is Gurney Tears, and as I recall, what spurred me to write this poem was actually a young boy who doesn't appear in the final version of the poem. I came to believe he deserved his own poem, but I was unable to write it, so maybe you will. What had happened was this little boy was sitting on a gurney. He was teary-eyed and he was waiting to have some relatively minor surgery like PE tubes. He wasn't my patient, but I was walking by just as his mother, who was standing by him, mocked him by saying, "Don't worry, they're only going to cut off your ears." And this did not do very much for the boy's equanimity. I was quite taken aback. I was appalled that a mother would say this to her child, particularly at this moment right before he's going into the operating room. And actually it made me quite angry. But at any rate, it was this seed, this little glimpse into another person's life, another family's life, that led to the poem Gurney Tears. And as the very famous physician poet William Carlos Williams commented, physicians really are truly privileged to peek into such private areas of people's lives. He wrote in his autobiography, "My medicine was a thing which gained me entrance to these secret gardens of the self." And I think every physician has felt this unbelievable privilege. So this poem is also about the simultaneous connection and disconnection between physician and patient. The physician, particularly in the arena that I work, tends to hover vertically over the horizontal patient. And when a patient cries on a gurney, the tears don't roll down the cheeks like this. They pool in the corners and then they'll roll back towards the hair or the ears. I would say as an anesthesiologist, I feel both connected to and separate from the patient because I really only get a very tiny glimpse into that person's life. Mostly a patient wants to move forward and get on with the procedure. The waiting itself can be agony and you don't want to prolong that. So I try to be mindful of the patient's desires and also mindful of my responsibilities towards that patient, and that even a very simple act like injecting into the patient's intravenous line is also a very profound act because it means I am connected to that patient's brain. Sometimes it can be quite overwhelming to be a physician. The pressures of the day mount up, all those glimpses of the stories of people's lives. Many are tragic. These glimpses can be difficult. And so the physician feels a need for renewal. And in this poem, the connection to the patient continues even through that desire for renewal, because even the desired blanket of snow is white like hospital sheets.